Hey, good afternoon, everybody, or good evening. I don't know where you're watching from, what time of day. I'm so excited to have with me a guest. Is somebody I've interviewed or we collaborated on several interviews in the past, Nicole Conner from the Sierra Mountains, California. And as I mentioned in previous videos, when we've done nutritional talks about different things, she's a integrative health and wellness coach or nutritionist coach. And she is going to be launching her new program here coming up on 1st of March. And so I'm real excited to get her on here, to interview her, to let her share a little bit about herself for one, and for two, to tell us about her upcoming course offering. So Nicole, if you would, just take a few minutes to tell my guest who you are, where you're from. I already told where you're from.
Yeah, sure. Well, as always, Wes, thank you so much. I love on videos with you and collaborating and doing all the fun stuff that we have had a chance to do together. It has been a great year, and I can't wait for the years to come as we, find more and interesting things to talk about. Thanks for being on today to talk about my program. We're really excited about it. I've been attending the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, and I'm at about the halfway mark now. So I'll be launching my first ever coaching program, and I am thrilled to be offering a program called Nourish Your Life. What my program is really going to be focused on is, while I'm an integrative nutrition coach, is I'm integrating nutrition into the other areas of your life. So, for example, if you think about all the ways that we nourish our bodies and our life and where we get all of our energy and our happiness and our fulfillment from, comes in 4 different areas typically. Our spiritual interactions, our career or work life, our relationships, and how we move our body and how we get out there and exercise and do some things that really give our body what it needs to stay fit and healthy. So in those 4 areas, my school likes to call that primary foods. So the primary way that we are satiated is in those areas. And when we bring in really good, healthy, nutritiously dense foods into our life, we tend to have a little bit more satisfaction in those areas. So I am excited to be able just to introduce those concepts to people and help them learn and discover areas where they are perhaps a little out of balance, and help that wheel just move around a little bit more, less lopsided.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you told us a little bit about your course there. So Nicole, what got you into integrative nutrition? I mean, that's not something you read about every day or hear about every day. So what actually got you into it?
Well, thanks for asking. I am a bit of a science nerd. I started out in college wanting to be a doctor when I grew up. I majored in biology and started taking some psychology courses through my military service and through college, and discovered that being a doctor didn't allow me to really get into the meat of what people are going through. And I found that medications don't fix problems. And personal experience is, you throw some medication at your problem, and then, magically, while you may not have high blood pressure anymore because of the medication, the situation in your life that's causing you to have high blood pressure has not been addressed at all. So for me, my interest in moving into a more certified program of training and education is to help people who are in that same scenario. So an integrative health and nutrition coach they partner sometimes with doctors' offices and their patients to help them integrate change into their life so that they can get healthy and not just treat symptoms. If you've got a good doctor's offices in your area, or working with holistic practitioners to help people find accountability and making change in their life. So people that go through my schooling can offer up services in many, many ways, one of which would be, say, teaching classes on how to educate people on bioindividuality. And I'll give you an idea of that, what that looks like. So you and I, we both take the same dietary plan, let's say. And I'll use one that's really popular these days is like the keto diet, let's say. So you and I, because of health reasons, decide separate and apart from each other that we're going to implement this particular way and style of eating into our life because we want to get healthier. Now, let's just say, for example, this works extremely well for you. Like you're able to lose the weight, you're able to get off medications, your cholesterol levels stay good, and you're really careful about what you're putting in your body. And that works really, really well for you. It's a lot of proteins and things like that. And for whatever reason, my body, I'm an individual, my body just doesn't do well with that particular plan. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't work right. I'm tired. It doesn't fit right. Like it's constipated, whatever. Like my body just doesn't do that diet well. But let's say I incorporate a more vegetarian type of diet. And for me, that is like magic to my body. So despite that you and I have similar, let's say we're similar weight, we're similar age, we're similar conditions or symptoms, your body responds to what you give it, that information, and what you're putting in your body responds differently. Now, let's say from a career standpoint, your body handles stress in a way that really depletes you. You're tired, you have high blood pressure, you're holding on to weight because your cortisol levels are too high, you're grouchy and grumpy and you can't sleep, right? So let's say your body handles stress and the workload and all that in that way. For me, let's just say I don't have those problems, but my body then, for whatever reason, loses weight in those circumstances, right? So everyone responds to the information you give it, whether it be stimulus from the outside or food that you give it. Every body is different. So from that perspective, a coach like me can help anyone who's kind of struggling in these areas, whether it be trying to lose some weight or whether it be trying to find balance in their relationships and work, to incorporate just different healthy habits. This initial program will help people do that. So I don't know if I answered your question of why I do it.
Yeah.
Do it is because I've had these experiences where I've tried on a diet that everybody else is doing, it doesn't work for me. I've tried on certain, nutrition products and everyone's getting these great results, but I'm not. What is it about my body and how my life choices and my primary foods and how they're feeding me, I'm still not maybe feel right about what's happening. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think, and you bring out a point. Everybody's different, and everybody comes from a different experience in life. Everybody has different perceptions on things, and yeah, it's all about finding out what works for you. And I guess that's what I'm hearing from you. So in your course, Nicole, what are we looking at? A 6-week course? Can you maybe, in a nutshell, tell us how this is going to work? I mean.
Yeah, so there's going to be, I will send anyone who's interested in learning more about the program and how to nourish their life in a more complete, holistic way. I will give them a couple of kind of quizzes and tests, if you will. There's a little circle of life tool. It takes about 10 minutes. They gauge where their satisfaction level is in different areas of their life. And then they do a little health assessment. Kind of gives me a little overall picture of what's going on in their life, and I give them a free consultation. It's about a half hour or so, and we look at these different areas and where there might be some correlations, and then we decide whether or not the program is something that'll work for them. So I think that everybody can learn something from this program. I think that everyone can incorporate more healthy choices, whether they're nourishing their relationships better, they're nourishing their careers a little bit better, or they're figuring out some tips and tools for their body in particular. And of course, I want them to learn how to take care of themselves spiritually and take better self-care. So with those tools, through a 5-week interactive, once a week, we're kind of doing a group interactive thing. For that first 5 weeks, and it's just an introductory week. So it's 5 weeks of actual, real, in-depth content, videos, homework, etc. This is definitely interactive. You don't just come and watch a video and that's it. They got to come to a group meeting each week. And then after that, and what my certification allows is I can do advanced programs that are group related and or 6-month or year-long individual programs as well.
Cool. That's pretty in-depth. So who, and you kind of covered this in an earlier question that I asked, but who would be interested? Who would this be for? What kind of person would be in need of your program, or what kind of person are you trying to reach? Maybe that's how I should say.
I think if anyone is struggling in any particular area of their life, I'll give you kind of an example. So we have several areas of life that we move through, like our social life, our relationships, our joy, spirituality, our home life, cooking, physical health, your home environment, career, finances, things like that. Areas of your life that are apart from, what you put on your plate. So while I can give you all kinds of direction on what to put on your plate, if we don't get these other areas more balanced and more satisfying, I don't care how much broccoli and kale you eat, you could still be the most unhealthy person on your block, right? Because you're just not incorporating good, healthy habits outside of what you eat, that you're just unhappy. So anyone who is, say, struggling in relationships and it's just the lowest area of satisfaction in their life, this would be a great course to start with. If they are really struggling to figure out why they can't lose weight and their neighbor does, I'm going to give you some tips and tools to understand that and help you start with taking some steps on how to rectify that. If you're really putting yourself last on the totem pole and you don't know how to incorporate your own self-care because you're so busy trying to take care of everybody else, this would be a great class to start learning how to incorporate some good, healthy self-care practices. And then the last would be if your career life is struggling in some way, or you want to advance in your career, or you want to kind of go into something completely different. We're going to talk about some personal development and some strategies and tips on what to do to have more career satisfaction. So it kind of hits all the areas that people really probably have one area in their life that they're kind of struggling with, whatever that might be. And this is an introductory program to see if they like my style, if they think that what I say is going to work for them, and if it doesn't, that's great. We part ways, all is well. But if they really feel like it's a good fit for them, we can move on to advanced programs and move on from there.
Wow, this is going to be a pretty incredible class. I mean, I really like the fact that people get to consult with you for half an hour to find out if it's a fit for them. So, there's a lot of programs out there you throw money at and you go take and, I don't like this, and you don't even finish. But
exactly.
It sounds to me like your program's got a lot to offer because it's going to touch every area of life. And so I'm pretty excited for what you got coming out. This launches in March, correct?
Correct. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Correct.
Well, I'm starting to, at this point, sending out emails to people who've expressed interest. They can get a hold of me by sending me an email or reach out to me on Facebook. They can email me at fuelforyourbrain@gmail.com, or they can find me, Nicole Conner, on Facebook, and they can private message me or get more information there. And I will have some private Facebook groups for those that are going to be involved in the program. It's going to be very interactive. There'll basically be plenty of ways for them to get a hold of me. My website will be launching pretty soon as well, but I don't have that yet.
Let me ask you one last question. We're going to wind this up.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody takes your course, somebody takes your 5-week program. Will they have access to that content?
They will.
They'll
have. That's a really great question. So they'll get an email from me once a week that'll have YouTube video links, and those will continue to be live indefinitely. So they'll always have access to the information. And then if they print out the information that I send them each week, they'll have to keep the content as theirs.
Awesome. Nicole, thank you for sharing with us.
You're welcome.
I'm excited for your launch. I think this is going to be an awesome class. I hope I can pass as one of the participants that I'd like to participate myself. So
that would be great. Likewise. I can't wait for your program.
Yeah. We're going to close it out here, everybody. And thank you for watching. And as Nicole said, if you're interested in more information on her program, you can find her on Facebook, Nicole Conner, or you can go to fuelforyourbrain@gmail.com to email her. She's easy to find. Just do a search for Nicole Conner. You'll find her. She'll pop up there. So thanks again for watching. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.